Hello guys, myself Anshuman Jaiswal welcome you all in my Commerce Gateway classes. In our previous video, we have understand the theoretical concepts of accounting equation. Hope so it is clear to you. But in today's class, we will be dealing with practical concepts of accounting equation. So let's get started to our lecture. But before moving on to the practical concepts, let us discuss that how the dual aspect principle affect the accounting equation. Let us illustrate with an example. So first of all, let us understand the meaning of dual aspect principle. Dual aspect principle. So dual aspect principle can be defined. Dual aspect principle means that any transactions are recorded having its dual effect. You can note down also if you want. So dual aspect principle states that or means that whatever transactions we are recording has its dual effect or two effect. Now let us see in how does the dual aspect principle affect accounting equation with an practical example. For example, in accounting equation, we have studied that assets is equal to liability plus capital. Now, first example, purchased machinery rupees 20,000 for cash. Since machinery is an asset, so machinery is coming into the business, so our asset gets increased by 20,000 and through machinery, and we are making the payment of machinery through cash. So on other hand, our cash decreases by 20,000 through machinery. So you can see that the transactions have its dual effect. So we can say that if there is an increase in asset, will lead to decrease in other asset. So this was the first example. Hope so it is clear to you. Moving on to the next example. Now the next example, purchased goods for rupees 5,000 on credit. As you can see that we are purchasing the goods is also an asset. So on one side our asset get increases by 5,000 through stock. We can write here goods also, stock. And on other side, since we are purchasing the goods on credit, so we are purchasing the goods on liability. So on other hand, our liability also get increases by 5,000. So it will be shown in the amount of column of creditor. Okay, so in this transaction you can also see that it has its dual effect. Now moving on to the third example. So our third example is sold goods rupees 8,000 on cash. Since we are selling the goods rupees 8,000 on cash, then on one hand our asset decreases by 8,000 through stock, and on other side our asset increases by 8,000 through cash. As you can see that it has its dual effect, means to say that if decrease in asset will lead to increase in other asset. This is the just reverse of first transaction. So this you can see that whatever three transactions we have taken is at its dual effect. Now when we will deal with its practical problem, we will understand that there also the two transactions or the dual effect gets followed. So this was all for to make your concept clear that how the dual aspect principle affect accounting equation. Now moving on to its practical concepts. We will start the question of accounting equation through its format. So let's get started. First, you have to write the format of accounting equation. You have to give here the heading. You can write here serial number or date, whatever is given in the question. Serial number oblique date, depending upon the transaction or depending on the question which is given to you. Then you have to write here particulars. Here you have to write the list of the transactions that is given. Then you have to write here assets is equal to liability plus capital. Now you have to close here and you have to write the list of the assets. Basically there are three: cash, stock, debtor. It can be more depending upon the transactions which is given in the question. So, and you have to write a liability creditor plus capital. Liability could be anything, it can be more, but depend upon the question what is given. So after that you have to you have to draw the arrow, or you have to draw the line and you have to start your transaction. One thing remember, that whenever you draw a line you should be drawn with ruler, not with free hand. So our first transaction given is started business with cash, started business with cash rupees 80,000. Since the owner and business from account point of view both are different according to business entity principle, so the businessman has invested 80,000 in business. So in business the cash increases by 80,000 and it creates the capital. So here 80,000 will be also added, because it does not create the liability, because business has not asked the money from outsider. The businessman is investing the business, so it creates the capital of 80,000. So here the 80,000 gets created. Stock no effect, debtor no effect, and creditor also no effect. Now you can see that our equation gets balanced, 80,000 plus 80,000. So now move on to the next transaction. You have to write here equation, which means that you are copying it. 80,000 plus 0 is equal to 0. 80,000. We are doing this because to balance the equation. Now moving on to the next transaction. Purchased goods for cash rupees 52,000. Since we are purchasing the goods for cash rupees 52,000, so first of all a cash will minus because the money is going out of the business, and stock increases by 52,000 because the stock or the goods is coming into the business. As you can see, it has this dual effect, minus plus effect cancel, 0 plus 0, no change in anything, only change in cash and only change in stock. Now again you can frame the equation and you can do the total equation, that is 80 minus 52, 80 here the 52,000, 10 to 8 and 38,000. So here the equation gets balanced. Wait a minute, 80, 10 to 8, 734, it will be 48,000. Hope so it is clear to you. Plus 0 plus 80,000, 10 to 8 and 752. So sorry, it will be 28,000. Now the equation gets balanced here, 80,000. So moving on to the third transaction, that is purchased goods for rupees 5,000 on credit. Since we are purchasing the goods 5,000 on credit, so first of all the stock gets increases by 5,000 because we are purchasing the goods and goods is coming into the business, so our stock gets increases by 5,000, and since we are purchasing the goods on credit, so our liability also gets increased by 5,000. Since we will add up in the creditor, because the amount, because the person to whom the goods are from, to whom we are purchasing the goods on credit is known as creditor. So here 0, here also 0. Now you can do the total. Now you can do the total, frame equation and do the total. So here you can see that 28,000 plus 57,000 plus 0, 5,000 and plus 80,000. Now you can see that the total 85,000 here also and the total 85,000 here also. 28 plus 57 is equal to 85. Now moving on to the next transaction. Next transaction is sold goods rupees 6,000 on cash. Since we are selling the goods on 6,000 on cash, so the amount of the goods will be deducted, and here the cash get affected. We are selling the goods on cash, so our cash comes into the business by 6,000. So it has a dual effect, as you can see. So we have to close the accounts and now you can balance it. Since we have no transactions given in the question, so you can write here the final equation, means the question gets ended here. Now there is a no equation left. So you can total here, you will get 28 plus 6, that is 34,000, plus 57, 51,000, no change in data, and plus 5,000 and plus 80,000. So here our equation gets balanced. As you can see that 34 plus 51 is equal to 85 and 5,000 plus 80,000 is equal to 85,000. So our question gets completed. Hope so it is clear to you. So moving on to the next illustration. Next illustration is very simple and it is very short, so we can quickly complete it. So again you have to follow the same format, particulars. Now our first illustration states that started business with cash 1 lakh. So you have to write here the transaction, that is started business with cash rupees 1 lakh, as already discussed in the earlier question. So you have to do nothing, you have to increase your cash by 1 lakh, no change in stock, no change in debtor, no change in liability, your capital gets created by 1 lakh. So now you can see, you can frame an equation, and now it is balanced. New equation, you have to write an equation, that is 1 lakh plus 0 plus 0 0 plus 1 lakh. Now you can see the equation gets balanced, asset also 1 lakh and liability also 1 lakh. So moving on to the next transaction. Next transaction, purchased goods for cash rupees 20,000 and rupees 30,000 on credit. The method of doing this transaction is of two ways. Either you can combine it or either you can do it in double ways. For example, purchase goods for cash 20,000. Since we are purchasing the goods, so the stock is coming into the business, so 20,000 it will be added here, and we are cash will be deducted by 20,000, since cash is going out of the business because of purchasing the goods. No change in debtor, no change in creditor, and no change in capital. And the second part of the question is that it purchased the goods rupees 30,000 on credit. So we are purchasing the goods, since 30,000 stock will be added, no change in cash, now we are purchasing the goods on credit, so plus 0 plus 0. So our liability also gets increases by 30,000 and no change in capital. Since the transaction get complete, now you can frame an equation and total it. Equation will be 1 lakh minus 20,000, as you can see 80,000 will be in cash, plus 50,000 will be in stock, 30,000 plus 20,000 is 50,000, no change in debtor, 30,000 will be of creditor, and 1 lakh will be of capital. Now you can total 1 lakh plus 30,000 is equal to 1 lakh 30,000, and 80,000 plus 50,000 is equal to 1 lakh 30,000. Moving on to the last transaction. Last transaction, sold goods for cash. It's just similar. Sold goods for cash rupees, sold goods for cash costing 10,000, sorry, sold goods for cash costing rupees 10,000 and credit costing 15,000 and credit costing 15,000, both at a profit of 20%, both at a profit of 20%. This question is just similar to the above one, but you have to remember one thing, that it is given a profit of 20%. Now how to solve this question? Let us see that. Since we are selling the goods for cash, first we are selling the goods for cash rupees 10,000, so stock will be deducted from here. Now what is 10,000 of 20%? 10,000 of 20%, it will be 2,000. So 2,000 will be shown in the capital as it is in the form of profit, and the profit, that is total, the cash comes into the business is 10,000 plus 2,000, that is equal to 12,000. So 12,000 will be added over here. The same thing, since you can see it has a dual effect, 12,000 plus 10,000 effect, we are showing 2,000 profit of here. Now same goes for credit also. Now we are selling the goods for credit 15,000, so now you have to minus here 15,000, 10 of 15,000. Okay, Cost price 15,000. What is the 15,000 20%? That is 3,000. 15,000 of 20%, that is 15 2s are 30, 3,000. So 3,000 would be shown here as a in the form of profit, and 15,000 plus 3,000, that is 18,000, will be added in the cash since the cash is coming into the business. So our transactions get completed here. Now we can frame an equation and total it whether our accounting equation is balanced or not. So our final equation will be 80,000 plus 12,000, 92,000, 92,000 and plus 18,000. Let us see first here, we will tally here 30,000 here, 1 lakh plus 2,000, 1 lakh 5,000, 1 lakh 5,000 plus 0 plus 18,000 will be not added here since we are selling the goods on credit. So 18,000 will be added over here. So now it is equation gets balanced, that cash will be of 90,000, 92,000 plus 18,000 and stock will be 50 plus 10, 20 was 75,000. Now let us see that whether the equation gets balanced or not. 1,35,000 and here you can do the rough column here, that 92 plus 75, that is equal to 527, and 1,67,000, 1,67,000 and 18,000. 2,45,000. Is there any difference? So let us check in the questions. 92,000, 75, sorry, it will be minus, by mistake I have done a 50 minus 10, 40, 25,000. Now hope so the equation gets balanced. 92 plus 25, 92 plus 25, that is 527 and 107 and plus 18. You can see that the equation gets balanced, 1,35,000. So this was all for the concept. Hope so the concept is clear to you. Now let us discuss that what is the concept for purchase the goods on credit and sold the goods on credit. As you have heard the name debtor and creditor. What is debtor and what is creditor? Debtor is the person to whom goods are sold on credit. In a previous transaction, what we have done, that when we are selling the goods on credit, then our goods get minus, stock get minus because the stock is going out of the business, and the person to whom we are selling the goods on credit will be our debtor. So our debtor gets increases, or it will be added. Since it come into the person's account, debtor's account, so our debtor's account get increases. And now what is creditor? Creditor is the person from whom the goods are purchased on credit. Since in our previous question, when we are purchasing the goods on credit, since we are purchasing the goods on credit, so our stock increases and liability also increases, creditor also increases. So this was the concept of debtor and creditor. Hope so it is clear to you. So this was all for our today's video. So this was part 2 and part 3 will be coming very soon. So like, subscribe, share, comment, and thank you. Stay safe and have a nice day.